Okay, here it is right now. He says, so we're on the light print, and that would come to be page number Kuf Yud, and so light print only. Yesh ala anan his daras b'kol yecholto l'chum machatzas alayla mamish, to get up at that time mamish. His boy la'el de la'achar hatzos alayla tzarch la'aso shnei tikunim. You have to do two different tikunim. Ha'echad l'b'chos v'l'koinim al galus ha'shchina. That's one. That's Kriya Shema. Not Kriya Shema. That's Tikla Tzos. V'chashen l'ilmod Torah. Most of Rav Khan the Boyer, Shachatika the Rishon Shalabakia V'Chamira say the Tikkun Chatzos, that who Kodem Akodim, it comes first, B'Mal Lasso, the Tikkun Hasheni Shechav Lima the Torah. So it's more important than that. So therefore, Tikkun Chatzos, he says, is really, really important. V'Alkein Ba'ofen Shehi Ashalo L'Kaim Shneim, you can't do them both, could go in B'Leilu Sakayats, if you're not Katzarim, the Haidach B'Bekom Shechalai L'Katzer Ma'od, the after mechatzos had the boka lahapsik shenehem, lahaspik shenehem, oz o kagon min shalom neir takef bechatzos alayla, or like so a person didn't get up immediately after midnight, al the kar of the alos shachar, vein azaman maspik the shnechem yaktim v'yasach hasedach habakia. That's the most important part. Now he's talking about really early in the morning here. But when is midnight? Midnight is late. Bim yishar lo zaman lilmod yilmod. So then he goes and he says, light print, next page, he says, Mazkir harav lizocher shelo debat el kimas atzos zefila laila achas. So he says, of a kaven, sheto alta meruva, so since it has a tremendous purpose, Kamosha Kosev Arab Makom Acher, he says that she'ein tikun yom echod doime lechaveru, so every day is a new tikun. Kevin should be called yom anaasa tikun b'parts of Acher. V'meila kol laila should call laila shelo kom hu ma'uvas shelo yuchol liskoin. This is a problem can't fix. The ein dachal nishlam b'masher kom b'laila acheres. So as the day the world continues to turn, that's how I say it. Every day is a completely different situation, and once you miss it, you miss it. Asher ma'alaso shal adam ha'ose. Person could do this. Makavein as called sedach hatikunim as ivugim shachol b'kol yom kulo. Hamaschilim mitfilas arvis, which starts then. Ad la'achar tefilas amincha shalamacher v'heim kriya shema the arvis. So you say the kriya shema at night for nighttime. And then he says, where am I? Tefilas arvis the nighttime. Arvis. Kriya shema shalamita. Kim chatzos l'konen al churban v'legalas hashchina. And then the limud al alas hashachar tefilas shachris and mincha. Now this is a big time thing. He says this is the main thing. So he says, Hadama osa came, v'kamaka kavonaka a good boy. Then we see that the tikunim that are up above, he makes them. Vein lamala memeno vein kates lamat nescharo. V'yihir mechlal tzadikim shaleichem ne'emer tzadik goziva kodesh baruch hu mekayim. Okay, so that is that. Now, adding on to that, though, is some very different things that are coming out of the Shefa. So let's look at number Pei Aleph in the Shefa. I believe that's where we start. Look at what he says. On the phrase, V'tzarak his daras b'kol yecholto l'kom b'chatzos laila mamish. So he says, Issa marava kodesh, the mikunzas, the kaznitz, zia. He says the al kol panim yirocha ba'ada l'kun l'kol ha'pachos pam achas b'shvua o pam b'chodesh. He doesn't say that you should do this every night. He says you should do this when you can, but he says basically once a week, once a month, l'bchos al-churban. So that's what you need to do. This is completely different feeling of what he's saying. Because of the Balatanya, he said, I can't do it. I'll call upon him, fortify himself. Some nights I try to do it. Now, this is a particular area of interest. What if you didn't go to sleep? So he says you didn't. So in other words, you didn't go to sleep and then wake up, because he said going to sleep is one part of this idea, which is ma'alaman and so on and so forth. But you didn't do that because you studied up until that time. This is very common now. We have especially now, we have lights, electric lights, and it keeps us up. So he says, but which a tikkun rachel v'leah is a tikkun letzos. You should make every effort to do that. So don't not to lose it, that even if you didn't go to sleep, and you're still up, say tikkun chatzos. At Chatzos. Now, what time is Chatzos Lila now? Do you have a night time? I don't have a look. I lost it in my new phone, so I'm not sure what time it is. It's late at night though. It's after 1:30, I think.
Around there.
Yeah. So he says, Lakumba. So the question is, you have also like Rabbi Nachman, who says that 2 hours either way, you could say Tikkun Chatzos. So I don't know if we paskin like that or if we think like that. Listen to this. L'chum b'chatzos laila mamash. He said, "Menogei la'osem ha'neurim v'oskim v'torah ad chatzos laila." He says, let's talk about this. V'oz osim seder tikkun chatzos. So then it makes something like you do the tikkun chatzos. V'lachaman shochvin lishva, then elisha, and then after that you're going to go to sleep. Yesh b'zecha kama deus ben tzadikim I arich. And now arich is an unusual word for me in this, I guess, is valuable. Lem'eved chochi, olo. So they go on this in the Sefer Kuni Roni, the Rizal. No, the Hagriz, the Hagriz Margulis, Yeshua, what do we got it? Yeshua Asher Zolig, Margolius, that's all. So we're taking from what he says of the B'Devarav Sham, Bekitzer, and this is what he writes over there. B'Sefer Sod Mare L'Maratz Mezitchev. He says, Azia Kosev She'ein La'asos Ken. You shouldn't do that. So he says, why? Keved Da'at Chatzos Hu Zeman Shina V'hu Chavoda B'fnei Atzma. V'la'achar mekan, he avodas akibah b'zman harachamim v'charatzon la'achar ratzos. So that's the idea. There's two different tikkunim that you do at this time. Umahafech l'seder mahafech atzinoros. So this phrase, I'm not sure what he means, but he turns the way things flow in the wrong, or let's say turns it around. So he also cried out about this. Hatiferish Shlomo cries out about this. Midamshek, Midamshek, I guess that's the name, Amsik, I don't know. Behuva B'Sefer Shel Benel of the Shaar Gilgulim, B'Chodesh, Chelik Beis, Bamba B'Shem Rav Avraham Milazensk, I don't know how to pronounce it, Zia. Shekodem Chatzos ain't aliyah l'Torah v'tefillah. That before Chatzos there is no aliyah for Torah and tefillah. V'ayin zecha be'isa b'sefer chesed Avraham. Now he's talking about someone who stays up this whole time now. So he says, V'zel l'shon ki nech kol esek haTorah she'adacham osek b'dekilas halayla achatzos layla ki musukenis. Now what a word to say. He says it's in danger. So there's something dangerous there. I don't know what he means by that. Like, say, for example, and this example, I'm not sure that I understand it. If he's going to do something good, he's going to do something bad. I think that's what he means. So not everybody can go into the holy place, I guess he means. When a person learns, he says, Yikra, that happens to a person at the beginning of the light, that's what happens at that time. Now, I'm not sure what he means by this phrase. Like, say a man take a man who is a nefesh on a low level, but he doesn't have a ruach. Oh, nefesh ruach b'li neshama. He's not complete. I'm not sure what that means. Also, this case. Afilu shuhu tzadik kamo David HaMelech alav shalom. Shulach Yashin Shina Susu, so he hardly slept at all. Nishmasim is the Lex the Mala the Hisyach and Shina Kinizka Bezoer. So he says that's what happens over here. He says that you actually make an yichud when you go to sleep at that time. But Lakach, Eina Torah Tzalula, but the Chilas Halayla, Mifnei Shahan Neshama, Eina Im Haguf, because the Neshama had been separated from the goof. So what exactly are you going to do? That's what he said. He says it's like a body, let's say, so to speak, without a neshama, because the neshama not around anymore, or went up in man. His chachmos adam hu b'chad neshama. So basically, what you can do is, what the real connection, let's say, is with his neshama. So, but the neshama is gone because it went up. So let me see. I forgot the words. V'im kol zeh. Masha ose b'torah v'mitzvah. So with all of this, what a person does when he's learning Torah and mitzvahs, u'maisim tovim olam lamala derek rucho l'nishmasach sham. That's how they go up. In the shama ain't nidchis. Now this is a phrase that his shama is not pushed off. I'm not sure what that means. Gam Torah zecha b'eina nidchis. I'm not sure what it means exactly, the phrase. I guess it means that if his neshama is not going up, then his Torah is not going up. V'in nishmasach has v'shol nidchis. So it doesn't make the yichud because there's no neshama there. Without a neshama, you can't actually make the connection. So this is their ashita here. So then, from that point, though, let's say that would happen under the ideal circumstances where we went to sleep. Then your neshama went up. But let's say you didn't go to sleep. Then what the Amnam Mechatzos Va'eloch, now the neshama comes back, or so to speak, that this is the time of neshama shalucha al b'nei Adam milamala. Im kasher v'im rom. If the neshama, again, I don't know the implications of this exactly. If the neshama is kosher, or if it's bad, mikol makam is peshetet b'chab, but doesn't matter. It comes back in anyway. V'im kom b'chatzos alayla. So if a person gets up at midnight, she'az he netaharis this kadeshes v'naasi yumonis. So it becomes what yumonis means. Right is the sign of side of the right, which is the side of chesed. Kaniska bezor b'parshas lech lecha ad kan l'shono. We'd have to find that he doesn't really give side reference on that. And meidach gisef, and I'm looking at another way, but see them harbit tzedikim shekain nogo kain. Well, so that's the idea. The idea is that if your neshama doesn't go up, then how is it possible that you could actually complete this cycle? So that's the way it was with the Rishash. He stayed up, he kept learning. He said because of a Riz Margolius, Zatzal Yashe, to answer this, al pi ma de isa shenishal habesht hakodesh maduhu lomed kodem chatzos v'lo achar chatzos. Why does a person learn before chatzos and not afterwards? Now, this is another kind of an answer. He says, they said I guess someone said to the Besh, they said, why are you learning at the first part of the night when you should be sleeping, according to this thinking? Instead, you learn all the way through that period. That's why he's in this world, to make a tikkun in the first half of the night. Now, this is a concept or an idea that, well, I'm not sure how it works, but that's what the Chetzich Halayla Hasheni Kavar Tikkun Begulguldim Kodmin, because what happened in previous reincarnations or incarnations, let's say, that neshama had already completed that. Or it is done, I don't know exactly how the Lila Hasheni Kavar Tikkun Begulguldim Kodmin. Od Sayan Osham agrees, he says, Lamai, excuse me, what to say with it? Sheyeshnam neshama sheshorsham machazivuk dekolim chatzos. There are neshamas that have a yichun that is before chatzos. V'yeshnam sheshorsham machazivuk deacharatzos. I think I talked about this yesterday because I know what time I was born. I was born in the middle of the night. So does that mean that my neshama got started after chatzos? Also, he writes like this. Which takes place after Chatzos Laila. Previously, he had said that actually it's not la'achar Chatzos Laila, it's at Chatzos Laila. He said this. He said that's the way he had said that. But there are differences between the neshamas. He says nishal. He says like this: Hayim ediv lilmod kodem atzos of the achrav, v'heisha shadadata ediv lilmod kodem atzos. The ain suffix motzim b'dei devadai. So what's the suffix over here? That whether or not it's going to be helpful. What's the vadai? The vadai is that he's learning Torah. The miyodea im lo siskapto roshena velo yisora bezman. So he said the answer is because who knows whether the person will be able to get himself up after that and be able to learn after that. Velo yisora bezman. He wouldn't get up at the right time. He would miss chatzos. V'shayim v'v'sayim sham da'al zen emer kol levavos dorish Hashem. Not sure what that means exactly. I guess everybody is seeking Hashem to try to get as close to Hashem as possible. So we really kind of ran through that time. And let me see, there's a Pei Gimel, and it has on this also, it has an arichos to it. And I'm not sure what to do there. So I'll start it because we're here. Now we just heard a lot of different ideas in regards to this. So that's why I said it needs a psak. But he's also saying, so let me just say this, it really depends on the person, or it depends on the situation. We see that at midnight, it comes at different times relative to daylight, for example, in the summer when it's going to be late, very late. And what are you going to do to get up? It's not going to be that easy to do that. On the other hand, some people say it's better to learn at nighttime because you may not be able to get up at that time. So a little bit complicated. So here we are on number Pei Gimel. I might as well look at it because we have a few short minutes. So he said, "V'disahar ma'od." Now we just heard that there are exceptions to the rule. What night, a certain night, you couldn't get up at that time. Because this is a different time. So he said previously, and I don't really remember this from other places, but he said previously that there's a second yichud. I know we did see it previously between Yaakov and Leah at Al Shachar. So maybe that's the significance. And I will awake in the morning. So I guess that I may be me. V'chein kosev v'kaf Chaim, he says in Or Chaim, he says v'zechel d'shana v'av mi shelo niz'ara b'nekudas hatzos ela acher sha'achos or shnayim sarek l'kum ba'os ha'shah. You should get up anyway. V'lo ya'amach v'yilo. So it shouldn't say v'keven shadach niz'ara b'nekudas hatzos yishar yashan. So I'll sleep through it. I'll sleep anyway. But the more that a person get up from his sleep, the better. So alatam hanizgar, like for the reason that we mentioned, the shkron should not get up from it, get a hold of him. V'yitam tam misa zaman aruch, and the taste of death should not be on that person for such a long time. Let's say you can't do this. You can't get to that. He said, l'kol hapachos, at least at minimum. He said, l'kol hapachos, yishtadel l'kum kodem alos hashachar, kadei sheyuchol lomar tikkun chatzos v'lechaver yom v'layla b'tera ad kan l'shono. And we'll stop right here. This is where we got to, and tomorrow, Mitzvah Shem, we'll be able to see it in greater depth. Kol tov.